What's up, guys? We are back. Teach Me Tuesday is back. In this session, we're going to talk about some of the fundamentals when it comes to mortgages and real estate. Some of the questions that we get asked a lot
Yeah.
as as a realtor and as a mortgage professional. We're going to go into those topics today. But if you don't know who I am, my name is Wilmot Berry. I'm with the Berry Group, brokered by EXP Realty. I service the Orangeburg and surrounding areas as well. I also have Mr. Gavin Abraham with me today. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yep. Gavin Abraham, mortgage loan officer here in Somerville and the lower country area. But again, we service all of South Carolina and Georgia, soon to be North Carolina. Um, but
Wow,
yeah, man, happy to always excited to just talk about what we get to experience on a day-to-day basis, and hopefully drop some jewels, give some people some gems about some of the things, some of the questions that they might even have looming or just giving an understanding of real estate and the mortgage process and industry just a little bit more. So
absolutely, absolutely, brother. Man, I feel like it's been a while since I've been on here. And I
yeah,
know
man, you fresh out off that water not too long ago.
yeah, man. Been blessed to go on a Disney cruise with the family, and that was a blessing, man. I truly enjoyed it. I gotta sell some more houses so I can go back on another Disney cruise because those are not cheap at all. And but it was so good, man. Thoroughly enjoyed it. But you guys just got off vacation too, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, we took a kind of a relaxing week. We,
Mm,
we like to call this place our home, somewhat of our home away from home. But we hung out in Hilton Head all week last
ooh,
week.
I like
Um,
Hilton Head.
I did get to do something that I never done before. I rented a boat and was drove a boat around,
Okay, all right.
captain of a boat for a day. So that was pretty awesome, man. Even got me a little boat fever. Like, man, I
Oh
might need
snap!
to, I might need to be one of these boat people out here, man.
Oh snap! That
Yeah, nah, but we got some other things to take care of before we start looking at our boats. A couple more investment properties, things of that sort.
there we go. Let's talk
Yeah,
about some real
yeah.
estate. Yeah,
Let's get some real estate. You
yeah.
know,
To
something
pay
that's
for
gonna
the
make us
boat.
some more money.
Let's
Yeah,
let's get some real estate to pay for the
that boat.
liability,
Right,
right? You know what I'm
right.
saying? So, but we're gonna get into our first question, man. This is kind of a little segue. One of the questions we get asked a lot is, what are the steps involved in buying a house? What are the steps involved in buying a house? We can spend a whole session just on that
Yeah,
one
yeah.
that one
Easy enough.
question,
But
but
yeah, sum it up.
yeah, yeah, but one of the first things I always talk to people about, and I just want to make sure that you're starting on the right foot, is hey, making sure that you get pre-approved first. That's the first step, guys, is getting pre-approved. And one of the acronyms that I've heard that I thought was pretty cool was your CIA. What is that? Your CIA, your credit. What is your credit?
Mhm.
What is your income? Okay. And then also, what are your assets? Do you have any savings and do you have any assets that you have? Okay. You got anything you want to add to that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, man, that's real good information. I mean, definitely step one is you can't go shopping for something that you don't know how much you can afford.
absolutely.
I mean, we all like to window shop and we all like to just think that, hey, yeah, this can fit in our budget. But until you sit down, go over the numbers, and truly get an understanding of what you can afford, it makes no sense to go out there and start looking at things that are out of your price point, out of your budget that you're wanting to spend. So, step one, definitely, man, go get pre-approved, speak to the lender, give myself a call, and let's knock step one out. Let's get the unknown known, so that
Absolutely.
now you can prepare yourself to go to Mr. Wilmot and say, hey, man, I can afford, I'm qualified or I'm pre-approved for a $350,000 house, but
Hmm.
Will might I talk to the lender, and I don't want my mortgage payment to go over 200,000, and for what they told me to stay at 200,000, I need to be at a price point of around 285,
Yeah. Yeah.
275. So
That
step
saves
two.
that saves so much time, guys. So I want to stick right there for a little bit
Mhm.
and really hone in on that because If those of you out there, you might have the Zillow, the Realtor app, the Zillow app, or you online looking at houses, and you seeing all these beautiful homes out there, all this beautiful real estate out there, and you want this house with this on it and this many bedrooms, this much square footage. However, guys, I think a lot of times, if you're not careful, you can get your hopes all the way up. All
Hmm.
right. And then when you speak with the lender and they look at your financials and they realize like, hey man, because of your income, because of this or that, we might not be there yet. We might not be ready to purchase a home. We still got some things we got to get in order.
Right.
So that's so important because we just don't want you to, get to a point where your hopes are just so high. Hey, I'm about to go buy a house, but we have to rectify some things, have to get some things in order so that when it's time to buy a house, we go lock and load it. You find the house you want, you pull the trigger on it, you say, Wilmot, this is my house. This is the house I want. This is the house I dreamed of. It has everything I want in it. It has the kitchen I want. It has the bathroom I want. It has all those wonderful things that I dreamed of in my home. And that's what I love to do, man, is go out there and make sure I can get people what they want so that they can live their lives in the house of their dreams. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and also in regards to that same thinking of that same process of what you need to do to to buy a home, like that, those steps. So
Mm-hmm.
you pre-approved, now you're working with Wilmot and you're talking and you're figuring out, what you let Wilmot know everything on your want list, and
Mm-hmm.
now he's making the magic happen. He's
Mm-hmm.
he's finding that right home that's going to be right for you to go view, and he's painting a picture for you,
Yeah.
for what you can see in this house for years to come. So
Yeah.
now, man, once you find that house you like, you make an offer, you negotiate, do whatever you got to do. You already know what you can afford. You already have an idea of, because of this price point, this is what my mortgage payment's gonna look like.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've already discussed, with myself and stuff, what loan programs are gonna be best for you and whatnot. So now we're moving on to the process of working your application. From
Mm-hmm.
now, we got a contract and we're trying to get you to close it.
Yeah.
And
And so just to let you guys know, me and Gavin, we're going to be working on Gavin is going to be working on one side. I'm going to be working on the other side. Meaning Gavin is going to be working on all the, your financial paperwork you got to submit. You're going to be submitting documents to Gavin,
mhm.
getting all those docs to him, making sure everything lines up. Okay. On my side, we're going to be doing inspections. Okay. As soon as we get that house in the contract, one of the first things we're going to do is within our due diligence period is our home inspections. Okay. It might be a home inspector is going to come out there, take a thorough look at the house, look at all the components of the home. They're going to look underneath the house. They're going to look at the roof. They're going to look at the electrical. They're going to look at the plumbing. They're going to look at the foundation. They're going to look at all of those things that you probably wouldn't look at as a
Mhm.
buyer. Now, some buyers do. I do got some thorough buyers that come out there and they might have some construction background or
Right, right.
they might have some, inspector background.
Handy
But
handyman, your
yeah,
typical handyman.
yeah, but they have an eye for the things that you probably will miss, and they're also trained to test certain items to make sure they work properly. So that once they inspect that property, they're gonna hand you a report. Me and you are gonna go over that report together. We're gonna determine, hey, is this still the house that you want?
Right, yeah.
Okay. Because this is a very important part of the process. A lot of deals fall apart
At this
right
step.
here at this step. And guys, it's one of those things I always tell people this. I don't care if the house is a new construction or a house in mint condition, it's going to be something wrong with it.
All right.
The inspector is going to find something. Okay.
Because guess
That's
what?
his
That's the
job.
job. That's
That's
what it's
his job.
done. That's what you're paying them for.
Yeah, yeah. I have sold a lot of houses. Thank you, Jesus. I have sold a lot of houses. I have never came back and the guy was like, man, I found nothing. I mean, the house is perfect. And I have never found a house like that. But the thing is this, it's not the end of the world if you find something, guys. This is a part of the negotiation process. Okay. This is something sellers should be aware of from their agent to inform them, hey guys, they're going to do a home inspection. They're going to find some things that's wrong. We need to be prepared to make repairs to certain items, or at least give them some type of concession for something like that. Okay.
Mhm.
So that's the home inspection process. You know, there's different types of inspections too, Gavin. Like I said, I could spend a whole day on a whole
Right?
episode
Yeah,
on.
man. Because even I mean, I know that sometimes I had a client recently who I mean, absolutely loved the house. This was
Mm,
it was she went out shopping first day,
mm-hmm,
and it might have been the second house she went and saw,
mm,
and man, made an offer that day.
mm,
Offer was accepted. Just it was a perfect house, right?
yeah,
But man, it was and she's bought 5 or 6 houses before,
yeah.
in different places. But she said this was the house that had the most things that came back on a inspection report, had the most things wrong with it, including she even got a mold test, and the house is filled with mold.
Oh
Yeah, man. So it's like things that you can't see, that you can't determine with the naked eye. Again, that's a prime example of why those things are so important.
that's why you
Um,
get a home inspection, guys. That's why that home inspection is so important. And like I said, I stress this even in new construction.
mhm.
Even in new construction. Okay. I know sometimes you think because it's brand new, there's nothing wrong with it. Nope. Mm-mm. Nope. You still need that home inspection. I would highly recommend it. I can't make you get one. Okay. But I will do this. I will make you sign a document saying that I advise you to have a home inspection, but you decided not to.
That's
Okay.
right.
Um, but you get your home inspection, Gavin. You can get a HVAC inspection as well. You can get if it's on septic, you can get a septic inspection as well.
Mhm. And
You
some
know,
loans require that.
yep.
When you're, if you have a manufactured home, or
Mm,
to where like you have your water sources from a well,
mm,
you got to get a well test.
yep.
So they're all kind of pre-tests that can be done,
Yep.
to make sure that man, this is truly the property that you want to buy and live in,
Absolutely.
that it meets the standards in which you expect it to meet.
Also, I'm gonna put this out there too, guys. When you get that home inspection, understand what is it for. You want to understand the house, what shape it's in. Also, you want to ask for any major issues. Okay, so for instance, and I'm bringing this up because I know a lot of times that you get that home inspection, you think, hey, I'm gonna just hand the whole inspection back to the seller. No,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. We're gonna look at the things that are of concern. If there's some like a mark on the wall from the paint being someone, scratched it, that might not be something that's a deal breaker for you, okay, guys? But hey, definitely ask for something. Hey, there's a leak in my ceiling, or there's a soft spot in the floor. I need that fix. Something that you feel like, hey, I need to make sure this house is in good condition when I buy it. And I understand that you are having you spending your hard-earned money
Oh,
on
that's
this
it.
home. Okay, so those are the different type of inspections that you get done during your due diligence period. Okay,
Mhm.
during that period, guys. So you want to get all those done during that period, because once that period is over, you can't ask for any more repairs on the house. Okay, unless unless let's just say you get your appraisal,
That's right.
right? Let's say the appraisal is done, right? And you got an FHA loan, VA loan, USDA loan. Those loans are a little bit more strict on how the condition of the house that it has to be in order
Mhm.
for the house to be approved. Okay. So the appraisal might recommend some items to be fixed. Like, for instance, one of the common things that I know is having GFCI outlets near water. Um, we can't have regular outlets near water. What's up, EJ? Um, LaShawn ain't here, bro, so I don't know how to bring it up and everything. Um, so EJ just sent a message. He said, "My guys."
Oh
So shout
yeah.
out. So I'll probably figure that out at some point, bro. So but yeah, But
So
yeah, during the appraisal process, the appraiser might recommend saying that the property is subject to these items being fixed or whatever like that. So yeah, no highlights today, bro.
yeah,
So
there we go.
yeah,
You're working with the B team right now.
yeah, that's the main one in here today, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so that's part of that process. You know, inspections, due diligence, appraisal process. Gavin, talk about that. How sometimes in that appraisal process, you
Yeah, I mean,
know,
how that can kill a deal sometimes too. I mean, and you know, you go to under contract, you know,
action. Go ahead.
with the understanding that you know, you're buying a house for a certain price, and you know, when it comes to financing, we're not going to give you more money than what something is worth.
Mm,
So
mm,
the appraisal determines the value of that home, and when that appraisal comes back, just like Wilmot was saying, that um, there are things that determine that could be subject to. Like you did something there for a
Hey
second.
dog, hey, on the fly, your boy getting it.
Hey,
So
I thought you figured something out
EJ
this
and J Action on here today. They checking us out. So
time. Yeah.
appreciate you guys for the support.
Oh,
So
absolutely, yeah. And but yeah, that appraisal can shut things down because again, you know, if you can't come to agreement with the repairs that are required by, you know, an
mm-hmm,
appraiser,
mm-hmm,
um, then because that home is they're going to give an estimated value. That home is valued
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
at this price point with the condition that these repairs are done or made.
mm.
Um, and if these repairs aren't done or made, then it's not it's that appraisal isn't complete.
Absolutely. And the value. So value, right?
Value.
Appraisal value. So let's say the house is priced at you got the buyer and the seller have an agreed price at 300,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the appraisal comes back short at 290.
290.
Okay.
So we got $10,000 difference.
$10,000 difference. At this point, bro,
All.
bro, like during COVID,
Mm-hmm.
the buyers was covering it
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah.
During COVID, they had an appraisal gap on there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now that ain't gonna fly with
Yeah.
buyers.
That ain't happening. I ain't buying something for more than what it's worth. Right.
Absolutely, absolutely. So if the appraisal comes in at short at 290 and the agreed price is at 300, now we have to have a negotiation. The seller at this point has to make a decision. Am I willing to drop the price $10,000 to meet the appraised value?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that can make or break the deal.
Right.
Okay, if the seller agrees to it, we can move on. If he doesn't, at that point, the buyer can walk. Pretty much,
Mm-hmm.
based on the contract, the state contract. So, um, but that's part of that process. And then usually the appraisal is one of the last steps. One inspection I didn't talk about, I wanted to talk about is the termite inspection on CO 100, guys. So when you hear CO 100, you're gonna have a termite inspector come out there. He's gonna check for any wood destroying organisms. Okay, not
And
just the
we live in the South. It's a must.
absolutely, absolutely. So he's not just gonna check for just the bugs. He's going to check for moisture underneath the house. Does if he notices like the moisture levels are high, usually if it's above 20%, it's considered excessive. Something, and that's usually in crawl spaces, which we have down here in the South. Or if you on a slab, you don't have to worry about a crawl space.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just something to consider. And if any termite issues are found, then depending on how the agent wrote up the contract and how you wanted the agent to write that contract up, he can submit that to the seller and say, hey, you need to rectify this issue. Or the seller was responsible for making sure he provides a clear CL 100 to the buyer. Okay.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, you know, again, the process is a process. Things have to get done. Certain um, all inspections or inspections that you choose to go forward with, you know, have to be completed in order to determine is this the house that you want to invest in. You want
So
to.
Gavin got this question right here.
Mm-hmm.
So, will the bank give you a loan if you have wood damage?
The answer to that is no. The reason for it depends, well, again, it also depends on the loan type. Majority
Yep.
of loans require a clear CL 100.
Clear seal
So
one.
if your
Yeah.
loan does not require you to do a CL 100, um, and let's say there is wood damage or there's active termites,
Mm-hmm.
because your loan doesn't require it,
Mm-hmm.
we don't know. We don't require that you disclose that information to us. So
Yeah.
sure, you can move forward with buying this home, putting a mortgage on this home that could have several $1,000s in termite damage, or
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um, but yeah. So the answer to the question is yes and no. Um, if it's required, then if your loan type requires it, such as an FHA loan or some conventional loans. Um, VA, you have to have a CL 100. It's no ifs,
Mm-hmm.
ands, or buts about it.
Yeah.
VA requires that you provide a CL 100, and it has to be clear.
Mm.
There cannot be any termite, any moisture damage. Those things have to be rectified before that loan can be financed.
Absolutely. Those can be big, big dollar repairs, guys. So I mean, and don't get me wrong, I've seen situations where there was termite issues and it's small, and the guy can come in, a contractor come in, remove the damage and treat the house, and it could be under $1,000. But I've seen situations where I've seen 20, 30, $40,000 estimates to repair, let's say, wood infest. I mean, termite infestation or some type
Mm-hmm.
of mold or moisture situation that was underneath a property. So, like, to really kill a deal. So, something to consider. That's so important. That termite inspection, that CL 100, that clear CL 100 is so important. Unless you're an experienced investor and you say, hey, I understand what I'm getting myself into and I'm negotiating this with the price, I'm willing to repair it. Go at your own risk when it comes to having a property with those type of issues. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Um,
So, but and not to, I do want to switch gears, just because I know we're running short for time, but I did want to talk about one of the common questions that people ask quite often is, you know, they ask us, how much home can they afford? Um,
mm,
and quite often, I'm like, well, I can tell you what you're approved for, and I can help you determine, based off of loan programs, what what you're going to qualify for. Um, but also, you have to determine with a budget, how much you can afford, because at the end of the day, I don't know what your daily living expenses are. I don't know how
mhm.
much you eat out. I don't know how much you know, how much your daycare costs you per month. I know what's
Absolutely.
on your credit report, and it tells me your monthly debt obligations, and we take that in consideration. But ideally, when someone asks me that question, I tell them, ideally, you want to, when it comes to a mortgage, you want to spend no more than about 25% of your monthly income on a mortgage. Now, is that typical? That may not be typical in most cases. A lot of people, especially in today's market, with now where home prices are, they're probably your mortgage is probably more like 35 to 40% of your actual income, with where today's prices are. I mean, some people are who don't have any debt, outside of their mortgage, may be reaching 50%,
Mm,
to where
mhm,
they're putting 50% of their monthly income into their mortgage.
mhm, mhm,
So to answer that question, how much mortgage can I afford? It's strictly based upon, or how much home can you afford? Strictly based upon, what numbers are you most comfortable with? Determining your own budget to figure out, um, what do I need to put down to get to this point? Because there are ways, you can want to buy a $300,000 house. It can be your dream home,
mm,
but let's say you have money saved, or you have access to being able to put down a large down payment to where you get that home to where it's most comfortable where that payment is. So yeah, I mean that was one common question I wanted to address. How much home can you afford? It can be situational, but In most instances, I always suggest, if you can, stay within about 25% of your monthly income, because that gives you the flexibility and the ability to still live, still feel like, it's not a burden to have to pay this monthly mortgage. You still have money to do
Mhm.
other things outside of just owning your home.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, One of the other things I want to talk about today, I know we were on those steps to buying a house, and I'm probably do another video about the different steps buying a house. But one of the things I get asked from a lot of my investors and clients is, how do I add value to my property? Right? How do I add value? And I see a lot of things out there, and I wrote down a couple of things that I noticed that probably would give you the most bang for your buck when, let's say, you want to add value to your property.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to start off here before I even start talking about like upgrade this, do this, and, paint this. I really want you to think about the condition and the maintenance of your house first. Okay. Really, really consider that. I can't tell you how many times I bring buyers to a house and they do not feel comfortable in the house because of the lack of cleanliness of the house,
Mm-hmm.
or how it may smell, or there's cracks in the walls, there's holes in the walls, and they walk in, they don't want to touch the walls or anything, and then they walk right back out.
Right.
Okay, the reason I'm bringing this up is because before I tell you to go ahead and upgrade your kitchen or upgrade your bathroom, I really want you to make sure your house is well maintained first before we even get into all that. Make sure the house is solid first before I talk about all the other things that could bring value to your home. I think that's
Mhm.
so important. I think
Yeah.
that's overlooked, and it's one of the things appraisers look at. When an appraiser walks into a house, they want to know whether or not they are taking care of this home or not, you know, or is it being neglected? Are the filters dirty in the house? When the last time you changed your air filters in your house? Has it been a year where your AC unit might be suffering because of that? You know,
This is
when's the
true.
last? Yeah, like how old is your roof?
Yeah.
Is it that time? Has it been 25, 30 years? And the roof needs to be replaced? Or is the HVAC unit, 40 years old, 30? I don't know if I've seen a 40-year-old HVAC unit. But
Yeah. Oh, but we did have a quick question. I want to chime in real quick. So, are there
go
home
ahead.
buying programs that can help with down payment and monthly mortgage payment? Absolutely, Ms. Pecan Tan Williams.
That's
There
her.
certainly are. There are several down payment programs.
We
Uh,
got you. We got
yeah,
you right here now.
yeah.
Yes,
So,
sir.
certainly, man, give me a call. Shoot me a DM, whatever you got to do.
Oh, oh yeah.
Definitely can go over those different program options.
Oh
There
yeah.
are multiple ones out there.
Yeah, Gavin, you told me it's pretty recent too. The one you got, the new one you
Oh
got.
yeah, zero.
Was
Yeah, I mean
good.
zero down, man. So that's
Woo.
absolutely no down payment.
That's a
Um,
bad boy. That's a bad
yeah,
boy right there now.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, zero down.
Yeah. So let me see. All right. So here some quick things, guys, I'm gonna give you. One of the things that I will say that will add value to the house is square footage.
Hmm.
Add a room. Okay. So if you got a 3 bed, 4 bed is going to get you more money when you sell. Okay. Square foot is one of the biggest things. When we look at price per square foot, okay, can I get a 3 bedroom compared to a 4 bedroom? A lot more people say, hey man, if I can get an extra bedroom, oh man, that's gonna make it more desirable. It's gonna cause the demand for it to go up and also cause your increase in value. Okay. If you have, let's say you had a garage, you might can change that into living space. Okay.
Hmm.
um that could add some value, but some people love a garage,
All right.
too.
Yeah.
So I will say this, my wife love her garage, so like pulling in when it's raining outside. So uh another thing is, guys, that give you more bang for your buck: painting the house inside. And if you got brick on the outside, paint the outside, or wood on the outside, paint the outside too. Okay, that's a good return on investment when the house has a good, you know, a good paint job on it. And last thing is a couple more things, guys, is those kitchens and bathrooms. Upgrade those kitchens and bathrooms, guys, because
Mm-hmm.
kitchens and bathrooms, I don't care what nobody says, they sell houses.
That's right.
So if you got them white cabinets in that kitchen, you put that granite down in there, upgrade them floors. You know, people love that stuff, man. That's one of the selling points a lot of people want, and then also it increases the value of the home as well. So,
Well, good stuff, man. I know we're right at the mark, and
yep.
I know we got a couple other things to get to today, but man, I think this was a good one, Wilma. What you say?
I think so too, bro. Even though we didn't have the main one here
Yeah,
today,
we didn't have the queen to be.
I think we made it through, brother. So and I appreciate everybody that tuned in today, that
Absolutely.
watched Teach Me Tuesday. Tune in next Tuesday, same time, same place. And Will My Berry,
Gavin Abraham.
we signing off. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good day.
Peace.